This is our backyard, and I wanted to show you a bit of it. And this is, it's called a crepe myrtle. I don't know if you have them in England, so forgive me if I'm already telling you something you know. I don't know what blooms there and what doesn't bloom here, but actually it's a shrub, but it's been trained into, you know, being like a tree. So this gives a lot of good shade to our fish pond. And here's our pond. We have 2 fish in it. You see if I can get them on the camera. Yeah. The one with the fancy tail and the long tail is Curly, and the other fish is named Larry. We did have a fish named Mo, but he died. And as you probably know, Larry, Curly, and Mo are better known as the Three Stooges. But unfortunately, last year, Mo died. So Larry and Curly are the only ones left. And we have a waterfall here. There's not much blooming right now because, you know, things are starting to die out as it's getting closer and closer to winter. Of course, being in autumn now, some things bloom, but not a lot. Have some fern here around the pond, and here's an azalea plant that I never planted in the ground, and I may do that before it gets cold. So we'll see. Anyway, over in the corner are some spider lilies here. One of my favorite autumn flowers. Here's another crepe myrtle over here. Let me get to where I can see it. This is the second time that it's bloomed since summer, so I feel really fortunate that it decided to bloom again, because a lot of times it doesn't do that. Like, I don't think it did that last year, but my next door neighbor's crepe myrtle is really pretty. I like hers. Oh, that purple down there. It's really nice. And we have an alley that goes behind our backyard, and chain link fence. Chain link fences were used mainly in older homes, older by our standards anyway. It's hard to compete with England when it comes to old because you have such a rich history. But then we have a storage house back here because we don't throw enough things away, so we store some of them back in there. Mostly it's Christmas decorations, which at Christmas time I'll send you another video of what our yard looks like. We have lighted figures of Jesus, Mary, and the baby. I mean, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And, you know, the wise men and the camel, and just a nativity scene, basically. So it looks pretty good. This is the back part of the yard, and this is our memory garden. It doesn't look very good right now because, as I said, it's getting close to the time for everything to quit blooming, but here's another miniature crepe myrtle that I put back here. And here's our pine tree. This pine tree started out, I bought, it was very little. It was maybe 4 or 5 inches tall. I bought it for 99 cents at a local garden shop because I felt sorry for it because it was so little. And I planted it in the ground, and all these years later, I don't know how many years, 7 or 8 maybe, it has grown to be as tall as I am. So I've put a lot of care into it, and in the very hot summer months I made sure it was watered every day, and I think it's paid off. So I'm proud of my pine tree. In the memory garden, here we have St. Francis of Assisi, patron saint of animals, because we're animal lovers, especially dog lovers. These were marigolds, but they've kind of quit blooming. But they were there. This is moss rose, which does very well in extreme heat. There's a few blooms. There are a few blooms there, not many. This is a rose bush that I know it looks like it's dead, but it's not really dead because it comes back every spring. It just looks pretty bad right now. I know, it's strange, but anyway, here I've got a statuary of the Lord, and he stays here all through the winter because he's too heavy to move. But he withstands all the storms and snow and rain and everything. Here's a stone at his feet that quotes that verse in John about our heavenly home. This over here was coneflower, which there's one bloom left. I need to trim off the dead ones, but it does a lot better in extreme heat. And back here is another rose bush. This is what we call knockout rose. It's supposed to withstand every kind of temperature and every kind of situation. Here's a statuary of a dog that we had. Here's a stone that I put in memory of my mom. She died in 2006, and I miss her a whole lot. And this is lamb's ear. Here's a stone that's in memory of Pete's dad, who died of leukemia in 2007. And there's a Scotty by his stone because his dad was of Scottish descent, which he was very proud of. Here's an angel watching over. There's a stone from my Aunt Louise, who was my mom's sister, and she died 8 months after my mom did, and she was really like a second mother to me. She never had children of her own, so I was like the daughter she never had. And whenever I would get mad at my mom, she would kind of take my side and help me feel better. This is mainly when I was a teenager. This stone is for Pete's grandmother, Emma Henderson, and she was of German descent. I never got to meet her. She died before we got married, before we started dating. It's a cross. There's another stone for my mom. There's a piece of dirt on it I need to go get off. Here's a stone for my Uncle Reeford, who was my Aunt Louise's